So let's say you have a bayis yeshbo tefillin, a house which has a tefillin, or really a room. Also, shamish is also to use it to have relations there. I'll choose until you take it out, or until you put them in one vessel inside another. And the second vessel you put it in can't be specific for them, it has to be just a random vessel you found. As specific for these tefillin, even 100 inside one inside the other would still be considered like one. Hagav. And if both of them are not specific for this thing, for this tefillin, or the inner one is not specific for them, and the outer one is the right bag. Mutter would still also be butter. And tefillin, the mission verse says, within chamushim and similar chumashim, and similarly with chumashim, also do it tefillin, tefillos or siddurim, oshar svarim or other books. This is from the Hakomi Magen Avram and Pri Megadim, also from the Magen Avram and Pri Megadim. Ben Buchsivo B'Tzfus, whether it was you wrote these books, or they were from a print, from the printing press. Oh, sorry. The last one is from the Kaman Reish Mem Ayin Sham, and this one is from the Pri Megadim and Simon Reish Mem Ayin Sham. Okay. Hakol Yeshvam Kedusha, all of them have Kedusha, B'inan Klibatel Kli, and you would have to put them one vessel inside of another vessel. Okay. Vafilim Im Haim Kasab Meshita, even if they're in Meshita print and not a regular Shurish. Hainu Sheina Katzivas Sefer Torah Mezuzas, they're not in the print of Sefer Torah Mezuzas. Vuk Rak Kasab Shuri, and that would be Sefer Torah Mezuzah would only be kosher if it's in a Shuri script. So there's different type of fonts. Shuri font. Ukurichas HaSefer Eino Nachshavas Kalifisoi, and wrapping the book does not count as a covering. So if you just roll up the book, it's no good as a one covering. This is from the Pri Megadim. And Zuhu Migo for Sefer, because that's from the book itself, it doesn't count. Obin and Ochnik Gisuim, we need another two coverings. Behind me are there looking at them, Seven Reish Ayin Alef, Shab Bataz, looking Seven Reish Ayin Alef Bataz, Sham, Sivkat and Ches, Shekos of Kola Mako B'Kedusha Svarim, anyone who's Mako by the holiness of books, and it Fasim, which have been printed. Also, Lisa Natzazin is going to be given, he's going to be given to the judgment, or with the judgment. Anyway, he's going to be judged about this. There's supposed to having Kmokasiva, that print is the same thing as writing. However, in the responses of the Shabbos Yorav, Simon Kafei Daled, note the Lahakab, he decides to make about this. This is from the fine. And a pressing need when he doesn't have what to cover with it. Okay, note the Hayali Rabba. Mitaso, he can't use his bed. Olasus Rachel, or to use the bathroom, would again be a problem in front of Tefillin. This from Derech Chaim. Achus Yem takes them well. The Chid Acher into another room. Oshiem Shemaf Sik Beneam Machitor, you put in front, you make a separation between them with a wall. The boar starts Lachim, which is 10 Tefachim height. Behind the conversation, Reish Mem, look later on in Simon Reish Mem, Magen Avram, Sivkat and Tasvav, and Magen Avram, Sivkat and Tasvav. You put in one vessel inside of another. Lav Dafka Kalim, it doesn't have to be specifically vessels. The word in Shnei Kisuim is same thing to you just cover it twice. This is Pashat. Impairs talis Osharkin Soin Al Hakis. If you spread your talis or other type of covering on top of the first bag, Shal Tefillin, the bag of Tefillin. This is from the Magen Avram. Even though the covering only covers it above, and below the matzah, and it covers above and from the sides, but doesn't cover below, Shari still will be okay. Look at the Beralacha. This is from the Osal. Roasted Hamanichan kiss tefillin Vital Satokis Achago, and those that put this tefillin inside of a and talis into one big bag. That's most people. They have a talis bag. Has tefillin in it. Hari gam akis gadol nikra kelyan, that even the bigger bag was also be considered the vessels. Ham yuchal ham, which is specific for these tefillin. But Torah kis gam, and you need another covering on top of it. Imlosh machas metalis al tefillin, unless you cover the with the talis over the tefillin. This is from the Derech HaChaim. The talis eno kelyan, that the talis doesn't count as being the vessel of the tefillin. Vodum and kiss the tefillin. And same thing would be if the bag of tefillin would be attached above al hakis gadol, on top of the big vessel. So it would just be attached on top of the big bag. This is from the Derech HaChaim. Hari zad hasheni shel hakis hagadol ein nikra kelyon. The second side of the big bag is not considered the vessels. Umar lehem, and it worked for them. So I guess it's like attached to the top of the bag, and you have the other side of the talus. So let's say there's a bag, and then there's a tefillin bag attached to that, with a pocket of some sort. So the other side of the bag is really just for the talus. And that could work as a second cover. If you flip it upside down, if it worked for them, if you flip it upside down and use the side of the talus bag, the other end of the talus bag, to cover it as a second cover. This is from the Vushi Sart. I'm berura. Look at the berura. Master Gesavta b'Shem Eli Rabbi, that wood should bring the name of the Eli Rabbi. Kosev Magen Avram. The huadin b'mezuzah, same thing about my mezuzah, sekavos lefnim mecheder, which are set up in the inside of the room. Zorach kli l'tzorach kli, you have to put them in one vessel inside of another vessel. The hainu shechasos and b'shnei ksuyim, that is, you cover with two coverings. Ve'acham mehem yal kopanim, einam yuchal, one of them has to be specifically not specific for it, because we'll like later on. And if on the mezuzah there is a glass covering, you can see the mezuzah inside of it. That would still count as one, and you would just have to put, I don't know, some sort of tissue or something, cloth, rag, something on top of it. But see some suda wouldn't be enough to cover with a handkerchief on the mezuzah. You can't see it. I think also the Derech HaChaim is what the Derech HaChaim says. But according to the Rebbe, you can't do cover it again with another piece of glass. Okay? Even though it's covered with two coverings, the hamezuzah nearest bitochen, because you can see the mezuzah from the inside of it. It says in the Chachmas nearly the bein mezuzah or shar sfarim, whether by mezuzah or other books. Im asam etchila shnei kelim. If you made two vessels and you want it specifically to be counted as one vessel inside of another one, and go and shekerach mezuzah b'nayer, for example, you wrap the mezuzah in paper, and afterwards you put it in its bag, it will be mutter. Since originally you intended this to be a kli b'to kli. And the more dinim about this will be explained later on in Simon Reish Mem. With the help of Hashem, you should be blessed. The second one doesn't count. The second one can't be its vessel. Lav dafka, it's not specifically okay. Not its vessel. Not specifically. It doesn't have to be the second one. The same thing would be if the inner one would not be a specific one. So whichever one of them has to be not the vessel for the tefillin, and the other one could be. This is from the Berheitiv and Hasham. So the and the outer one would be specific, or both of them are not specific for this tefillin. Again, that would be considered a cover, second cover. Okay, Kamosha Kasa Bagaz, it says in the ground. The Inu also a kli, Rakim Shnei Miyuchadim. It's only also Kli inside of Kli if only both of them are specific for the tefillin. Avol Mechadin Miyuchad Mitzdarif. But if one of them is not specific, then it will be combined in a Miyuchad V'Shari. Okay. And told me if both of them are specific for the tefillin. Avolim Echadin Miyuchad, but one of them is not specific. Mitzdarifim Miyuchad V'Shari. It could be combined with the one which is the one is which is specific and it would be mutter. Okay, Vavagolo Bal Rak the Farish, and Hagaz only comes to explain. Giving a the words of the Mechaber, but it's not like they're arguing. Dulon Itza Lashoni, you shouldn't make a mistake with his language and say like, oh, it's only just the outer one. It doesn't really matter. And then it would be one vessel. Okay, and one vessel, even if it's not specific for it, it doesn't work and it's usher according to everyone. Okay. Gimel. Afilu okay. Afilu laniach kli b'to kli. Even if to leave one vessel inside of another one, also lanicham tachos magalasab. It's also to put them under his feet. Okay. V'chein also lanicham tachos mishosam. In the same way, it's also to put them under his head, even if he has them one vessel inside of another. Keneged rosho, opposite his head. Afilu b'klito, even if one vessel inside of another, it would still be a problem opposite his head. Bafilu einish story more than if his wife is not with him. Amushalo keneged rosho, but if it's not opposite his head, but it's on the top of his bed, im einish story mutter. If his wife is not with him, then it will be mutter. Im einish story then it will be tzarach kli b'to kli. If it would be his wife is with him, then it will be one vessel inside of another. Keneged rosho. So what does it mean opposite his face? Shuhu gam came derech design. Sorry. That's also the great way of degrading if it's opposite his face. If it's under his bed by where his head is. Okay, mutter afilu shelo b'kli klal, even not invested at all, it would be mutter if his wife is not with him, and it's not really opposite his head, so it's just under his bed. I guess you put on some sort of board. Rak shemanicham beini shelo yisgalgalo, you put them in a place where it's not going to roll away. Misham it's on to the sides. You go on shemanicham bein kar letachtom. For example, you put them between the bottom pillow, lekar shetachos roshut, between and the pillow which is under his head. Shloka negerosha, but you put them in a place where you're away from your head. So your head is on the left side and the tefillin are on the right side, between pillow 1 and pillow 2. This is from the Gemara. But if the wife is with him, we need kli to kli. The hainish shemnicham v'to kli okes sham yuchal. That means you put them in the vessel which is specific for them. Tachos akar, you put that under the pillow. The akar mikli shade, because you can use the pillow as a second vessel, so you could have okay. O shenicham b'kli to kli. Or you put them without any vessel at all. Tachas shnei karim, and you put under 2 pillows. That would be fine. Again, this is from Bukhar Minute Best. Using 3 pillows, you can just put them under 2 and you'll be fine. Or you could use the mattress, put them on the mattress and 2 on top. And the rabbis didn't allow you to put tefillin under his head when his wife is with him. This is from the Magen Avram. Even if you use the kli tokli and it's under your head and wife is with you, that'd be no good. This is from Agraz, the Beside the Prima Gadim. and similar to the So if it's opposite to your head, there's no way. El Kadesh Yishtam, no, sorry. So Chachamim didn't allow you, except even when the wife is with you, or when your wife is with you, even a kli, even when it's inside a kli, inside of another kli, or it's under two pillows. I guess they're talking not opposite your head. It's under your head, but not opposite your head. It's by the side, to the right side. The only reason why they allowed is that the shishtamr min haganav mother should be guarded from thieves, bakbarim and mice. Ulafika im yishlo makom acher shemishtamrim. If you have another place which is guarded, most places, okay. Sham lo yinichem kol b'mitzvah. You don't put them all at all of the bed. Umiyu im yishlo malam yirshos makom. If you have it above your head, some sort of place, some sort of protrusion, shelf of some sort. Yotzim in a mitzvah coming out of the bed. Which is very high, Shlosha Tvachim, 3 Tvachim above the bed, Ogum Namav Shlosha Tvachim, or it's 3 Tvachim below the bed, Lamatim Mishos below his head, Motalad Yichar Sham will be Motalif will be to put it on that thing. Okay. Let me see the barrel on page before. Beis. Baishish what and you put it in the Klito Kli. I'm Mishna Rolik Mishna Ro Mashik Sam the impaired Stelis put the talis on top of it. Lishmatini Mash Vio Bear Hativ and I left out with the bear Hativ abroad, the Shem Marita, and the name of the Marita, Shem Stabik, the Kis Shahaya Karachalav Matbachas. He's besabik about a bag which had wrapped around it some sort of cloth. Shikol Achronim is equal of all the Achronim after him, and the Vadi Shari for sure. Maturmi had the Glima Akmatara, in this case of the coat, which is an Akmatara, the Shari of the Rabbi allowed, so for sure this case of Brachos Kavah, that was in Brachos Kavah. Absha Akisa Elion Ein Machasim called Tzadimim, though the upper covering doesn't cover it from all sides, so to this cloth, it doesn't cover from all sides, but it's covered on top of the bag, that's fine. The Kolsh came for sure about this case, where you put this thing on top. Achim Shnei Kisayim Haya Bezeh Shalo Haya Mechusa Rak Lamala V'Lolamata. But if both the coverings were this way, when this kind of way, they were both just on top coverings and not on below, Zarachi and Betas needs a little bit of it. If a poskim lo hiskiru, Felix Bezeh, the poskim should make a difference about this. Ulinian kiss at tefillin, in regards to the bag of tefillin, Shemunach B'toch Kiss Gadol Shel Talis, which is put inside of a big bag of the talis. I'm Mishrolik Mishrosh Kasabna, the kiss Gadol who killed Kalyan, that we said the big bag is actually considered their vessels. Zedas and Magen Avraham. And this is the opinion of the Magen Avraham, that it counts as a specific vessel for its tefillin, and you can't use that as a second covering. The head to the Derechayim, the Varvin, the Derechayim covers over his words. Hayeli Rabbi, however, the Hayeli Rabbi, Hevi B'Shem Amaritats, the name of the Ritats, the Hakka B'Shas V'Tkak, it said that you could be make up B'Shas V'Tkak like this. B'Shmatzi said, I left this out, Mishum, the Hayachal L'chas is tefillin by talis, because you could always cover the tefillin with the talis, as Moshe Gesaf the B'Shem has wrote on the inside. Nafkamina, however, there would be a nafkamina l'chorah. Behind the marhits, linyan shemutu l'tzor most b'shas atzkak. There would be much to wrap in money at a pressing need. But kishal talis in the bag of talis. It's not a tefillin bag; it's a talis bag. The talis bags are fine. The enunukum yuchel tefillin is not called specific for tefillin. Kimaju l'shneim, since it's for both the tefillin and the talis, and tefillin has its own bag. That you could put in money there. But in truth, it appears to me that and what does that according to everyone? This is Matur, Moshe Sheni Bar, Emir Hashem Lakam Sim Membeis. We can explain later on in Sim Membeis, Berhalach and Sham, Berhalach look there. Also, Sham is Vitatu is Mitaso. The question is that child's bag with a tefillin is that considered specific for tefillin? If it is, then it's a Kedusha bag, and then maybe come with money in there, because it's used for something which has a Shem's name. But if it's just for the talis, really, and the tefillin has its own bag, then maybe you can put money there. And the Mishnah we're saying really either way you can put money there. Also, Sham Tritas, it's also to use his to have relations. I'm Mishnah Berlik, Mishnah Berlik, who had then last is Baltrachel, same thing would be would go to the bathroom. Number 2. This is from the Derechayim. B'tzorchi and Menaylo Zayat Tzorchi and how he knows this. Milakam l'simon mem gimel sivkan siv zayin ein l'raya. You can't bring your proof from siv zayin. Okay. Simon gimel siv zayin. What's that? The boy kitzay, and for sure you need a covering. This is from the Irish Shift Test Vav Sif Aleph Avo Kli B'To Kli Minai. But one vessel inside of another one, how does he know? Sure needs a covering, doesn't need two. How do you know he needs two? This is from Gimel now. Yerlach Gimel. I feel connected Rosho. I feel B'Kli To Kli. Even if it's opposite his head, even if it's in one vessel inside of another vessel, will be aser. I feel Im Hayu Kli B'To Kli Kodem Shenitnam. Even if you put them in one vessel inside of another one before you put it under the pillow under his head. The Fakar Nasa Kli B'To Kli. For sure, just through the covering of with the combination of the pillow, it becomes one Kli inside of a next second Kli. Came with Rambam, it would all be no good. It's all proof from the Rambam. Lam Magan Ram look at the Magan Ram Sikan Lam Da, which is Sikan down. Dalkoponim, Bedinza, Lo Pligi, Onim Al Ram, this din. The Refonim don't argue on the Rambam in this bit. You can't put it under the head, even if you use the second vessel before putting under the pillow, or whatever. Abu Shalom, it will be mutter. I am Mishnah Berura. Look at the Mishnah Berura. The Rosalam means to say Bein Karla Kasis, between the pillow and the covers. How could you say the Gemara? This is in the Gemara before the poskim and all the poskim. Here the frame shekasim the other frame that writes, but after this real life, maybe it's possible to hold the dafka specifically. And you're going to come on. Also, I don't know his intent. Shehu so Divyataz. He argues with Divyataz Divya Gemara in the words of the Gemara. Will I tell us so for Yesh Davar? Maybe there's a tell us so for in his words. Okay. It doesn't really bring the whole quote. Hey, fine. If his wife is with him, he needs to have one vessel inside of another one, even if it's on the left of his pillow. I'm Mishnah Rosh the Betzer Fakar, you can use the combination of the pillow. Nasa Kli B'To Kli becomes the Kli with inside of Kli. Hinkasim Magen Avram, this is what the Magen Avram says. Veli Rabba, Machman, the Veli Rabba is Machman about using the pillow. Mea Rambam, from the Rambam, the beginning Kli B'To Kli, Lavar Hakar, meaning one vessel inside of another vessel aside from the pillow. Avli Grabba, from the explanation of the Gram, Mashal, the Karen Magen Avram, it's Mashal like the Magen Avram, but Fain Pascal Hai Daf Chayim, Sharaf Onim, Daf Chayim, and other Refonim also agree with him. Okay. Doubt. Ishto imo bimita ain't the shamish. His wife is with him in the bed and she doesn't want to have relations, or they don't want to have relations. Mikri ain't ishto imo. That's called the case of his wife is not with him. Mikri actually says, no, Mishnah Berurah says, V'taz also lios ishto imo, and that Taz asks to have his wife with him. Bimita ad shianiach tefillin tchli tokli, until you have one tefillin in one vessel inside of another one. Shema yishkach v'shamish. Maybe he'll forget and then he'll have relations. Okay, mashma berura, and Simmons mashma the berura. I'm berura. Look at the berura. Do you need kli b'to kli if it's on the left side and there's the wife with him but not having relations? Ishto. Ve'ina rotzel l'shamish. She doesn't want to have relations. This is in the berura. I'm Mishnah Berura. Look at Mishnah Berura b'shem Mataz. We said the name Mataz. Reisha b'sefer Mati Yehuda. I found the book of the Mati Yehuda. Shekatz the filu des the Shulchan Aruch. Even according to the Shulchan Aruch. Hainu im has his Haskim etzlo shalol l'shem. If it's like agreed by him that he's not going to have relations. We're not concerned that he's not, that they're going to change their mind. If they ask another question, like, no, we're not. Okay. But assumably, the kuliyam mikri yishta, according to everyone, calls Yishta's wife is with him. I'm Lasham, look there. Okay. Lanifam Amita Kanegatito, put them on his bed by the side of it. His dinan kazakas of his din is like under his feet. Dinan. This is from Talmud Rabbeinu Yonah. Sometimes he'll it's like under his feet because maybe sometimes he'll roll around on the bed and he'll sleep on them on top of the tefillin. So Salam from basic Knesset, the benches which are in the shul, So this is from Ma'ayin B'Shari Tshuva in the Taz, Biradeh, Simon, Reish Beis, and Shar Achonim. Another Achonim, look there. Shetachas Asfalim Yesh Teva, and under the benches there is a box. Let's see some talus to put there the talus with tefillin, talus and tefillin. Yesh Omim the Asa Lishav Alas Afsalim. Some say it's also to sit on those benches. Yesh B'Teva, some are matzahs. However, because Yesh Chal Tefach Teva upon him, but if you have an airspace of one tefach which is clear, Mutter Tana Lishav Al Asfalim, it's mutter for sure to sit on top of the benches. A bal nefesh roylo lahachman, and bal nefesh is fitting for him to be machmish lo b'makom atzchakam b'zeh, and not a pressing need. Then even by this, you shouldn't sit on those benches. Ki tefillin yesh la'izar b'kedushas and because by tefillin there's to be very careful about the kedusha very much. So yim kavim b'mismarim, also if they're set with nails to the wall, motilesh of al so then it would be motiv to sit onto the bench because they're not really on top of the box. They're just sitting. They're connected to the wall. Okay, Hay says, you put on the bed on the side. I mishna berura, look at the mishna berura time, the reason is going to be a roll on them. Who made Tamid or Beniyon? This one's Tamid Beniyon. Tzarchim me mitamid la chavzayin and alef. Tzarchim from the Tamid from the Gemara Tamid on chavzayin and alef. Amar Papa says, "Mami na tefillin min aside sharin that to turn from the tefillin from the side would be mutter. But l'chashin and dom menagder, we're not concerned that maybe you'll roll around. V'afim nefarish compares from hamafarish. Even if you're going to explain like the explanation of the mafarish, sham da kavana bein karla kased and the 10th element between the pillow and the covers. Shloneg rosha meaning not opposite his head, but it doesn't mean really on the side. It just means by the pillow of his head." Not opposite his head, between the pillow and the covers. But still we see with we're not concerned that maybe the guy's going to roll around. So why would it be different if it's on the side? Okay. You can't say the Lafi Masha Pasuk Rambam, then according to what the Rambam says, but Big Dick Kahuna Nitnu Lehanas Mehem, that when you have the Kahuna garments are given to be, you can get a garment from them. Him Kane, Harry Ozul, Hashmami number of Papa. If so, you've actually lost the Shmami number of Papa for whatever reason. I guess that would also solve that question, whatever it was. Mikamakam Harry Mufach may also Sugabas still it's proof in that Sugab the Emamina Dilma Menagdu that if you would say that if you would roll around, Gam Shaloka Neged Rosha also that even not just on the side but also Shaloka Neged Rosha would be a problem. Even not opposite his head. But still like at the top by his head would also be around, worried that you're going to roll around. If you're not worried you're going to roll around, so both from the side and also by the head would be mutter. Now the imkain, and if so, even to done paskinim b'shulchan aruch the shalok neged rosh mutter, if we pass in the shulchan aruch that not opposite his head is mutter, how is the local chin until menag? We're not concerned. Well, we're not concerned that if he's going to roll. The imkain, gamen etzad yeh mutter, and if so, even from the side it should be mutter. I am shvitzarachin that needs in. Okay. Shagach l'shimish mitasu b'tefillin. In the Shulchan Aruch Vav, if the person forgot and he had relations with his tefillin there, lo yachas lo b'batim, he shouldn't hold neither the bottom, lo b'tzurtzuos, neither the straps. Amshit l'yadav until he washes his hands. Okay. Mimnei she'yadayim asakios askonios haim, because his hands are like dealing. They do dealings and they touch bad places. Maybe they touch the place which is disgusting. Therefore, make sure to wash your hands before touching the tefillin. Until he washes his hands, and then afterwards take that away, move the tefillin away. Until he cleans off the carry emission, whatever came out. This is from. This person had forgot to put on. He had his tefillin on when he had relations. Not just it wasn't on just on the bed. He had it on, so he first washed his hands, and then take them off, and then he has to wash off his whatever happened. Then he can put them back on if he wants. In the morning or something. Yoshim behem v'rakar, if he slept with them and he saw a carry mission, lo yachaz v'vatim, he shouldn't touch the boxes. El yachaz v'rtzuos, rather he should only touch hold the straps, and masir osam, and then take them off with the straps, take off the tefillin. Achi yikanach hakar mi'olav, until he cleans off the carry which is on top of him. V'ito yavan, and wash his hands. Eliachas, rather what he should do is to grab the straps. The bezelo do chashinan konkakazis, we're not concerned so much. Shem and nagu b'makam and tonus, maybe they'll touch the dirty part. L'kacha kilu leachas v'tzur, therefore they were able to hold on to the straps. L'asirim, and to take them off, kadesh lo the hashros hatfilin. Alatzmon, they shouldn't leave the tefillin on themselves, ochu, but ton of carry while he's still covered dirty with carry emission. Kovkas is the prima gadam. Hanechnas l'suda. Chesed says, "Hanechnas l'suda kav." When it comes to a set meal, hold sunu manichan. You can take them off and put them back on. Al shulchan, on top of a table. Al zman bracha, azman bracha, until the time of benching. Because the manichan, put them back on. Avul achila sarai in tzarach l'chalta. But for a temporary eating, doesn't have to take them off. Okay, hold sun. Yishlach Hashem and yishtakach. Besuda v'yiskan tefillin. This is from the Rashi and the Pre-Show. So you take them off before that. And he's going to be migrated by the soul. Al shulchan, you put them on the shulchan. Kadesh you muzumanim lo, that should be prepared for him lechazul anichan, to put them back on b'shas bracha, at the time of the bracha. This is from Rashi. So if he's coming to a set meal, he takes them off and puts them on. He puts them on the table. Because we're concerned that maybe he'll become drunk. So if he's got him filling and the film will be degraded. That's from the first one. That's from Rashi and the Prisha. And then you put it on the table. Usually, they know that you can be able to put them on when he wants to make the bracha of Berach Hamazon. So you do it until Berach Hamazon, and you put them back on. But a temporary eating, you could leave them on. The Sefer Shulchan Shlomo and the Sefer Shulchan Shlomo is mistapik. It means a suffix. After the Dafka Misha Menichan Kol Yom, so maybe there's only someone who leaves them on the whole day. Abu Mishalon Shedarko Laniach B'Shas Kriyash Matvilin. Abu Misha Darko Laniach B'Shas Kriyash Matvilin. Not someone who just puts them on for Kriyash Matvilin like us. That you couldn't do it even a temporary eating. Arai, temporary one. Near the Shira Filas Arai Hu Kabeya. Then here's the measure of an eating. Temporary eating is the Kabeya amount. Within Sukkah, with the common Tafresh Lamentas Ayin Shama, like the rules of Sukkah and Tafresh Lamentas Ayin. Look over there that you can have until a Kabeya outside of a Sukkah. But once it's a Kabeya, it's and Yoser, then it's all you can't. This is the Mati Yehuda. Hanichos to Suda, when it comes to Suda, adds man bracha until the time of Berach Hamazon. The Rambam, and this is in the Berlacha. The Rambam says, Lotion achar shenat liyad mayim echonim. You should put them on after you wash your hands mayim echonim. Mustama time kadesh lo the yilbashem biyadayim b'somos. And simply the reason is they shouldn't put them on when his hands are all dirty. So therefore, make sure to wash mayim echonim first. Lo v'yerochonim extevav. The Yerochonim don't bring his word. After the time, and it may possible the reason is the fimash anav dana paskinim b'reish shemen. According to my passing Shimon based on test, I feel deal, but I'm also the half to be in my machon and even just words also to make a half separation between once you start marking machon until starting brachas hamazon. Ayin sham beis Yosef look down beis Yosef kol shkim bezeh for sure by this. Ayin sham beis Shimon kafayin tash magan ram look there in the creation test in magan avram. Ayin mash knuf to the kamir in the bracha look later on what we're going to say in the rest of the bracha. Because when you go back and put them on before the bracha, I'm the Rishami, look at the Rishami verify Korah. This is a number test and beer lacha. The Mukha Sham that improves there. I'll go upon him the whole gersos, at least according to all the gersos, I'm the Prima Godam of Sivi. Raid him looking the Prima Godam of Sivi. The Lasuda Kava, that for a set meal, Kishmasir, when you take them off, Zork Akakach, Bashas, the you need afterwards the time putting them on, the Chaz is the bar to go back and make a bracha about them. Okay, Vihina Ladina Hamachaber. Behold to the for the law. Now Machaber Lel B'Simen Chav Hey Sif Yud Beis. According to the Machaber in Simen Chav Hey Sif Yud Beis, provided Chaz Chaz for sure you would have to go back and make a bracha. I feel that's the Ramah. And even according to the Ramah, the Daito Sham, his opinion there is when you take them off on condition to re-put them back on, miyad, immediately you're going to take them off and put them back on immediately. In that case, you wouldn't have to make a bracha. But here too, why this should be hold you them off and you put them next to him. Al shulchan al das l'chaz on condition that he's going to, or when the mindset he's going to put them back on, b'shat tefillah erchos hamazon time of dimension. Mikamokum hari kos b'sham, but still says wrote over there the Geshem Masion al das nikanis b'hem when you face the kisa, when you take them off in order to enter into a bathroom the chaz of the baruch kol yama, then in that case you would have to go back and make a bracha according to everyone. The V'nei she'en rishai le'elach b'hem, because he doesn't have permission to go with them the base kisa to the bathroom. Adukli le shah zumi mitzvah. He's pushed off at this moment from the mitzvah. If so, here too, even to Gazru, Chazal, since Chazal have made a gzera, shalo yelech b'shas Surah that he shouldn't go at the time of eating the tefillin, with tefillin. If so, he's been pushed off in the mitzvah with tzarech in the needy May Rishalmi and Raya from the Rishalmi, there's no proof of this. Yesh Lomer, Lufi Gersas Apnei Moshe, then you could say from according to the Gersas Apnei Moshe Sham, Looking Gersas the Gran, some of the Gersas the Grab Agosov in his emendations, Ali Rishalmi and Shami, the Irish Shahester, feeling we're talking over there where he took off this feeling. The Rishalmi Iri, Lafi Mash, the Isa Sham, the Brisa, that the Rishalmi Sham, according to what it says there in the Brisa. This is from in the Babli Brachos Kaf Gimel Amid Beis. The Tzarech Lifnos Kodem Shenichnas L'Suda Kava, that you have to go to the bathroom before starting a big meal. Make sure to go to the bathroom. And Kain and Mela Murchach Levarach Atal Tefillin Soil, then automatically you're forced now to make a bracha on the tefillin because you went to the bathroom. There's a Tanu, there's a Kasainu Who Kashalon if no Mikodem, and where our suffix is only in the case where you didn't go to the bathroom first.